Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. Got a customer that was raised on a ranch here in the Hill Country and wanted me to make his wedding ring out of this. This is a piece of mesquite that was harvested from their ranch. So let's go on into the shop and get started. So this is that piece of mesquite, and this is a inlay tungsten core. So we're going to go ahead and cut a piece out of this on the bandsaw, get it ready on the lathe, get it down to size, bore it out, then mount it to this core, and then we'll be doing shaping and sanding and finishing and everything else that we have to do. So let's go ahead and get started on the bandsaw. Took some doing. We've got a couple pieces that are pretty thin. This is going to be an inlay. So I'll pick a piece and then put it on the lathe, and we'll flatten it out and bore it out. Okay, this ring, the inlay is 19.71, so now we need to open that hole and get that right to 19.71. This width of this channel is about 3¼ millimeters. So I've got my digital caliper set to that. I measure the inside with this, and this little stop sticks out the exact same amount. So we're gonna trim him down till I get him close to being that thickness. we have to sand it down till the thickness is exactly the amount of that stop, which is 3.75 millimeters sticking out. So what I live for, hand sanding. Yeah, it's got it. That has got it, man. It's got it going on. That's it. Now we just need to take it over to the bandsaw and do 2 little relief cuts with the grain so we can break it. So we did 2 relief cuts on the bandsaw with the grain, so when we break it, it'll break with the grain. Then we can fit it in the ring. So let's get right on that edge in the moment of truth. Alrighty. Looks like a good clean break. It looks like a really good fit. Yes, it's going to be a really good fit. Alrighty, so now we just need to epoxy it in and let it sit for a while. So we need a little registration mark, so I make sure that I've got it right when I put it all back together. That mark lines up. I know I've got it in the right orientation. Now I'm just going to clean it up with denatured alcohol, mix up my 2-part epoxy, and epoxy the ring core into the wood. Clamp on it. Stuff on it. Alright, now we just let that dry for a couple hours. So there's the ring with the wood all bonded in. We're going to go ahead and cut off a roundish on the bandsaw, maybe a little bit on the sander, and then we'll put it on the lathe and we'll turn it down to size, and then we're going to stain it. The customer wants this wood stained, so we're going to go ahead and stain it a darker color. So let's get it on the bandsaw. Now we're going to stain this wood. The customer wants it stained. He wants it dark. So we're going to stain it. And give it a good staining. And then we'll wipe it off. And we'll do that a couple of times. So it's been several coats later, and that's about as dark as it's going to get. So we're going to go ahead and clean that up with denatured alcohol, and then put on a clear coat just to protect it. Just cleaning it right now. Just a little alcohol. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and do the finish, and then this ring will be done. Now we're just going to sand away any finish that got on the metal, and then we're going to sand the Just to explain a little bit of what I did is sanded the edges, the metal, up to the wood with some 220 sandpaper to get that, and that's tungsten. It's not going to scratch. And then I sanded the wood with my sanding discs or sanding pads, and these go from 1500 up to 12,000 just in progressive grits, and the last 4 usually do with wet sanding. So that just gives it just a nice smooth glass finish. And now we'll just go ahead and polish it, and then be ready to go out. Well, here's that Hill Country Texas Mesquite ring, ready to go out to the customer. I think he's going to be really pleased with it because this is wood from his land, so it has a lot of sentimental value. If you'd like for me to make a ring for you from Hill Country Texas Mesquite, wood from M1 Garand, Major League Baseball bat, teak from a battleship deck. I do a lot of custom work. I'm willing to work with you and make the ring that you really want, that you're really going to be pleased with. So please check out hillcountryrings.com. Thanks everybody. We'd love to make a ring for you.